Hey guys, I hope everyone is having a good Monday. I wanted to jump on here and talk about a case that I've been following for quite a while, and it recently had a few updates to it. So everything in this case began of April of 2020, and it involved a member of the Coast Guard named Kate Richards. In April 2020, she and her husband at the time found their 5-month-old daughter, Scarlett, unresponsive in her crib. They rushed her to the hospital, but unfortunately, she passed away. They both maintained that it must have been SIDS and that they don't know of any other cause that it could be. About 2 months after the baby's death, Kate was brought in to the police station and interrogated for 90 minutes. And in the interrogation, the police, I know they're allowed to do this type of stuff, but they basically were trying to be friends with her, like saying, it's okay, we're gonna help you, just tell us what happened, and kind of suggesting things, that could have happened. And Kate states that at the time she felt pressured, so she eventually admitted she might have done a couple things. Those things being placing Scarlett face down in her crib, swaddling too tight possibly, and pressing the baby's face into the mattress. She said she might have done those things. Due to this, she was arrested and she went on trial in 2022. In the trial, her defense attorney, like I said, maintained that this was not an intentional act, that it was SIDS, and that the investigators basically pressured her, and under that pressure, she admitted that she might have done some things. So in that trial, she was acquitted of the murder charge by the military jury, but she was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 6 years. So her defense attorney then tried to appeal that ruling under the grounds of the prosecution was not specific enough in their language when charging. So the prosecution stated that Scarlett died from asphyxia, and that is why they were charging Kate with her murder. The judge ended up agreeing with the defense and stating asphyxia is a way somebody dies, but it's not a specific act or omission by Kate. So basically, if you're going to charge somebody with the death of somebody, it needs to tie directly back to them in terms of how they're phrasing it. So all they had put originally was asphyxia. They didn't state like anything about what she did in the charge and anything linked to her. So they appealed it and ended up getting it overturned due to that. However, the prosecution then refiled charges on her for involuntary manslaughter, this time using more specific language. They used the things that I had stated before, like the omissions that she made, asphyxia by pushing her down into the crib, swaddling too tight, things like that. So it tied back to her. The defense is trying currently to argue that it's double jeopardy for them to, recharge her. However, the prosecution is stating it isn't double jeopardy because they aren't recharging her with murder, which she was acquitted of. They're charging her with involuntary manslaughter, so therefore they feel it isn't double jeopardy. So far, the judge seems to agree with them and has not thrown the case out. So right now, they're just basically, waiting for a trial date or waiting for, a resolution on both sides. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's kind of one of those cases that you wonder if we'll ever actually know the truth unless we were there. In the interrogation videos, Kate does talk about having postpartum depression and also having marital issues and feeling very overwhelmed between her job, her, taking care of her baby, being a wife, and taking care of a household. Essentially, she kind of threw her husband under the bus and said he doesn't do a damn thing. So, basically, she was overwhelmed constantly. And so it did make me wonder, could she have done these things? Could she have been so frustrated and the baby just wouldn't stop crying that, she just kind of snapped? Because people have been known to do it before. But at the same time, it's the other issue is they don't actually have any direct evidence. And that's another thing the defense has brought up, that the authorities, when this occurred in 2020, failed to secure the scene right away. And they also failed to take crucial evidence like the crib mattress, or the swaddle blankets, things that may have, evidence on them from the baby that might prove or disprove what they were accusing her of. For example, if they found, blood on the blankets or blood mixed with mucus or spit up, something like that, that happened that day on the blankets or the mattresses, that tells a story of its own. So let me know what you guys think about it. If you think that it's right that she's being charged, if you think that the defense has a point in it being double jeopardy and evidence not being collected correctly. And just let me know down below. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.